Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about all the lies that Israel is telling and just how people are viewing Israel and unfortunately Jewish people overall, given the lies that Israel is telling and how Israel is really perpetuating stereotypes about people of Jewish descent. And so let's start off with this post by Arnaud Bertrand talking about how Channel 4, after reviewing Israel's dossier against the UNRWA, says it provides no evidence to support its claim that the UNRWA staff were involved in October 7th. So in retaliation for the ICJ ruling about Israel's crimes against humanity, Israel decided to punish human rights groups, aid groups within Gaza, and the puppets of Israel, such as the United States and Germany and countries like that, decided to remove funding from these agencies. And it turns out that the accusations of Israel against these agencies about being Hamas supporters and helping on October 7th, all of that was a lie. And we could have expected that given the amount of lies that Israel has told in the past. But it's just clear that people are dying. At this point, we have children dying of starvation in Gaza because of lies that Israel is telling, and the leaders of the West are completely complicit in this, and they are doing whatever Israel says, despite the fact that Israel has lied over and over and over and over again. And this is very clearly perpetuating anti-Semitism, because they are labeling all of their actions, Israel is labeling all of their actions as done for the interests of Jewish people of Jewish descent. So it goes on to say this is a scandal of extraordinary gravity because it means that the countries that have cut funding to UNRW did so on the basis of no tangible evidence. Again, just shocking the amount of power and influence that Israel has over these Western, supposedly democratic countries, but people seem to have no control over their own government now. It goes on to say, let's be clear, they decided to cut the funding of the main source of the humanitarian aid, a United Nations agency, to a people the ICJ said was plausibly being genocided based on mere unproven allegations from their tormentors. This should sound insane to you, because it is insane, okay? No reasonable government that is not co-opted by Israel could ever go along with this. This should tell you about who is in control of the West, okay? So he goes on to say, it's frankly shocking beyond words. Even if there had been unequivocal evidence, a small number of UNRWA staff, we were talking about 0.04% of their staff were involved on October 7th, it still have been absolutely irresponsible to cut their funding because you can't collectively punish an entire people for the actions of a few. Just today, 3 children starved to death in Gaza. How did they deserve this? But without any evidence, the West has entered a stage of full genocidal madness. And that's the thing where it's like, even their initial claims were not enough to remove the funding for the UNRWA, okay? But it turns out even their initial claims of 0.04% having something to do with October 7th, even those were lies. Like, their lies are not even based on a fraction of the truth. It's just completely made up BS that they're spouting. And we see, though, that Israel controls governments throughout the world. And because the United States is losing, because Israel's losing and the United States dollar is declining, the United States can't really provide as much support to Israel as it used to be able to. But Israel and its Zionist agents all across the world are figuring out other ways to exploit populaces of Gentiles and extract their resources. And so in Argentina, President Javier Milei called for the demolition of Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam, after Mecca and Medina, in order to bring the Messiah. So this is someone who is a clear Zionist puppet, who is in charge of Argentina, who is massively inflating the currency of Argentina and privatizing national assets in order to give that up to these Zionist oligarchs who control the West. And this person is saying they should demolish the third holiest site in Islam in order to create the third temple for Zionists. Just shocking that this type of thing is allowed to happen. And for people who don't know, Hamas and the other militant groups that attacked Israel, occupied Palestine on October 7th, they called their operation Al-Aqsa Flood because Israel has been harassing Al-Aqsa Mosque, and they've been taking steps to potentially demolish the mosque in order to build the third temple of Israel on that location, because that's holy land for Israel, that's Holy Land for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Okay, and so we see that that was the original reason for October 7th. Okay, and Zionist puppets all across the world are trying to encourage that. They are trying to encourage a global war where the Zionists are the only ones that potentially win from the conflict. And unfortunately, these actions by the Zionists in Israel are leading to ramifications for the Jewish populations all across the world. And I say unfortunately, but about 85% of American Jewish population does support American soldiers going over and dying for Israel. So it's an overwhelming majority of American Jewish people who also agree with this. So we see here, a poll says that 67% of Americans age 18 to 24, so the younger generations, think people of Jewish descent are the oppressors. And so the Zionist conflict against Gentiles, really seems to be against all Gentiles, is having major ramifications for how the future majority populace, after the baby boomer generations die out, how these people view people of Jewish descent overall. And there has to be some talk in general just about the amount of support the American Jewish community has for Israel. Again, I said it was something like 85% in polling said they would want American troops to go fight for Israel. That should be very concerning, that type of dual loyalty, or maybe you can even say that singular loyalty, not for America. But it's very clear that these actions by Israel and by the American Jewish population are leading younger generations to conclude that Jews overall, not just Zionists, not just Israelis, are oppressors. Thank you so much for investing your time in watching this video. If you found the content informative, be sure to show your support by giving us an upvote. Your engagement goes a long way in boosting our visibility within the algorithm. To stay ahead on the most pressing contemporary issues, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're committed to delivering up-to-date, thought-provoking content on a daily basis, and we want you to be a part of this journey. Also, your thoughts matter to us, so please share any comments, questions, concerns, and/or critiques in the comment section below. I personally read each one and I respond when necessary. Given the nature of our content, where we expose the actions of the oligarchs who exploit the masses, intentional suppression in the algorithm is an unfortunate reality. If you believe in our mission, you can help by spreading the word. Tell your friends about our content. Let's amplify the voices of those that challenge the status quo. Speaking of amplifying voices, I need your help. As many of you know, I gave up a lucrative career in the fastest growing field and the highest paying subfield of psychology in the United States to move to the Philippines to provide content that I think is important for my viewers to hear. I left so I could avoid repercussions for speaking about topics that are taboo in the United States. This decision came with significant financial sacrifices, but your support can help sustain the work we do. Check out the links in the description for how to support our channel. Every contribution, big or small, is genuinely appreciated. Finally, as a channel, we stand with the people of Palestine. We believe in their freedom, and by supporting us, you can contribute to this shared vision. Thank you for being a part of our community. Your viewership is invaluable, and I genuinely hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.